Best in podcast, the best in town. You wanna get up, get ready to get down. With its big wide sky and the wild river Thames, if you wanna go, we can take you there to Great Falls, Montana.
Welcome to the greatest damn town in Montana, Great Falls. I'm Rebecca Ingham.
I'm Shannon Newth,
and we're No Damn Experts. What do you have in store for us today?
Yeah, I'm excited because we, in Great Falls, have a pro basketball team.
We do.
Which is very exciting to start with. But we have a coach, which you're very excited about. And I'm excited about the player.
Coach Broc and player Deon.
Yes, that's right. We're excited to have both of you here. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
So we learned off air, you guys are a little bit new to Great Falls. So tell us both where you hail from, your journey to our land.
Yeah.
Want me to go first?
Yeah, go for it, Coach.
So I'm from Minnesota, a small town called Pine Island, Minnesota, southern Minnesota. I am new as a coach to Great Falls, but I've played here for the last 2 years, the 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Okay.
I came when the first year I came in April, but I haven't been here more than a month. So I came in April 2024 and I left May 25th, 2024, and then came again last year in February, and then left March 24. So I haven't been here much.
You just get like short little stints.
Well, I came here
like you show up and they're like, no, we changed our mind again.
Well, the first year I came off an injury. I broke my leg from
geez.
actually playing in Seattle. And then from there I came here after a year of recovering, and the season ended May 26th. So I went home. So then I went home there. Then I came back here and I played for about another month and I fractured my foot. So then I ended up going back home again.
Stop doing that.
Well, that's why I'm coaching. So now I'm here. This is the longest I've ever been in Great Falls. So I'm excited
Which
to be
is
here.
How long now? 2 months?
About a month and a half.
So did you play college ball? Did you play other pro teams? You said Seattle.
Yeah. So I played junior college actually in Wyoming for Central Wyoming, and then Casper College for 2 years, and then went to University of Pacific in California.
Nice.
Which was a Division I in the WCC. And then I had the 5th year because of COVID and went to Cleveland State in Ohio. And then after that went to Seattle Superhawks in the TBL. And that's where I broke my leg 10 games in. And then I played for these guys for 2 seasons, but no longer than about 10 games. So
That's a lot of painful injuries you've
yeah,
had.
it didn't stop. So I just kind of got to the point where I was like, well, I'm either going to stop playing or go get a job. And then this is when coaching came about. And I was like super excited for the opportunity and took it and kind of closed that chapter of playing. So
Yeah.
kind of tough, but super excited for the new journey.
Well, I'm excited to dig into that. Deon, what landed you in this,
you're up.
beautiful land of ours?
Yeah, beautiful situation. So I live in Texas. That's where my family's at, Austin, Texas. I've been there for 2 years. I went to school in University of Texas San Antonio.
Okay,
nice. San Antonio, of course. And then I had a former teammate that was here last year in Great Falls, had a good experience, and so he recommended me coming out here, and I talked to management and talked to Coach Broc and decided it was a good situation for me to come out here and play in the West Conference. It was my first time actually being in the state of Montana at all.
I mean, it's a lot like Texas.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, they have burgers and
it's massive.
They have ducks. Yeah. Yeah.
We have a few less
they
people.
Hunt. Yeah. So, you know, it's a great thing going on. But yeah, so we've been here for about 2 months, and we're just trying to, you know, do the best we can for this organization, and then just kind of follow along with the Montanians. Is that what they?
Montanans.
Close.
Yeah.
The Montanans.
I mean, you call them whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one's really going to
No.
Great
yell at you.
Fallians or
Great Fallsians. I have
Great
coined
Fallsians.
that.
That's a
Never heard that
mouthful.
one.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I'm using it in some training I'm doing.
Great Fallsians.
Great
That's a good one.
Fallsians.
That's a good one. The
Claude
greats.
said it was a great idea.
The greats.
Claude doesn't have to pronounce it all the time. Are you not from Hastings, Nebraska?
Yeah, so
Okay.
originally I am
Okay.
from Hastings. So you did some research.
I did. So
I'm like, well, that came out of left field. I'm like,
Yeah.
just throw out a
Shannon
random
know?
town. So Liz on our team here as well works with the Electrics as well, doing social media. So she sent me like the About You videos
my
from the
bio.
both of you.
Oh,
With the
okay.
question about the Girl Scout cookies and
Yeah.
things like
Huh.
that.
Mm.
So that's where I got the Hastings from.
Thanks
Yeah.
for sharing, Shannon. I would have.
You don't
probably
like to
enjoyed
do
that.
research. So.
That is true. I had to do research on tomorrow's
This is the
guest.
extent of research I had. So,
Yeah.
okay.
No,
So
100%.
where does that come in?
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Hastings, Nebraska.
Okay.
Oddly enough, the inventor of Kool-Aid, that's my great uncle.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Huh.
And so like Kool-Aid days.
Oh my goodness. I have such a. This is just a random thing.
Yeah.
I am challenged at making Kool-Aid. Have been most of my life.
Really?
How?
You gotta add enough
Yep.
sugar.
Challenge. It is such a challenge for me.
Why is it? Isn't it?
It always comes out as colored water. I'm like, people are
I mean,
like,
that's-
oh, did she make the Kool-Aid? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, don't drink it. It is not good. She sucks at it. I have to have a recipe for cinnamon and sugar. I don't do well without recipes. So
Yeah.
Okay.
I apologize to your lineage that
It's
I
okay.
fail in that area.
Yeah,
It's okay.
disrespecting his family.
No,
I
it's
know,
Yeah,
all
right?
good. Yeah.
It's like, oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's all good. You know, it's all good.
Did you? Was that? I just have Kool-Aid questions.
Yeah, go for it.
Did you? Was it like a prominent thing in your family to have Kool-Aid around all the time, or was it just like what?
No, 100%. As far as I remember growing up, we always had Kool-Aid in our fridges.
Yeah.
As far as like royalty rights,
You're
Edwin
loaded.
Perkins. No. See, here we go. Let's get to the nitty and gritty, right? When Edwin Perkins passed away, which is the inventor of Kool-Aid, his wife, Kitty Shoemaker, sold the rights to Kraft. And that's why it's
Oh.
so widely known across the United States, is because
Oh.
Kraft bought the rights and then they revamped it. And so actually, the original Kool-Aid didn't have any sugar. So you're not.
you're doing the original
Yeah,
way.
you're not
Look
doing
at
bad.
me.
There you go.
You're not doing bad.
So you
Just,
are respecting his lineage.
Yeah. Yeah. Ironically enough.
Good, because I suck at making the craft version of it.
Yeah. That's the processed version. So.
Yeah. Ugh.
But yeah, we have Kool-Aid days every summer, and like
in
we
Hastings.
have in Hastings,
Okay.
Nebraska. Yeah, my hometown, and we have the Kool-Aid Museum, and
Huh.
like that was very big and prominent in my history and my lineage.
That's
and
crazy.
so Edwin Perkins had a Cadillac, one of the first ones, and we call it the Kool-Aid car. And so we would, we'd have parades, and we would drive, or I wouldn't drive. I'd be in the back, and we'd throw out candy to the
Yeah.
community and wave at everybody. And
Well, it's so
so
awesome.
yeah, it was a real special thing growing up, having that privilege, I guess, essentially.
What's
Yeah.
your favorite flavor?
Great.
Huh.
That was fast.
Pretty quick. Do you have a favorite
Oh,
Kool-Aid
yeah.
flavor, Brock?
Probably fruit punch.
Yeah, we might as well go around the table, right,
Yeah.
Rebecca? And
I can't. No disrespect. I don't remember the last time I had Kool-Aid.
Well,
Oh,
I'd
my
probably
goodness.
like a
Oh, my
strawberry or
goodness. We gotta get her some Kool-Aid. Where's the
Right?
Kool-Aid at? Get her some Kool-Aid ASAP.
What's the one that you?
I always
Don't-
like the
well,
red color.
Yeah, that's
Fruit
like
punch.
They
the
all
red.
kind
Yeah.
of they
Or
all kind of
cherry.
taste.
Yeah,
the
I feel like the
same for
cherry.
me.
That's the one that I liked. Yeah.
Cherry's probably gonna be good if you
Mhm.
make it right. Just gonna say,
Probably.
probably nobody likes lime. I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah, I didn't.
No.
That's not a top 10.
No. No. I have one more related question.
Go
to
for
that.
it.
So there's
Did you expect you were gonna go down this path?
no, I didn't research this much. Okay, the phrase "drink the Kool-Aid" is like kind of not associated with great things, right? It's like you're buying into a
Yeah.
conspiracy or like cult thinking, right?
Mm.
Or
Oh, I always say it like I've drank the Kool-Aid. I'm all in. I'm ready to
Okay.
go. I'm
that's a good
100%
thing.
behind this.
Do
Maybe
you have
I'm wrong.
thoughts on that saying?
I think that's been kind of culturalized in like the last generation. I don't even think that was like part of the concept. of
Original
Kool-Aid.
branding.
Yeah. But I do. It is a saying that we have in American culture. You like don't sip the Kool-Aid, or
Yeah.
if you're sipping the Kool-Aid, you're down for the cause. And,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and so yeah, I get that. And I don't use the saying
Yeah.
personally. So
I think I did last week, actually.
So down for the cause. So Brock, how do you get all your players to drink
Oh.
the
To
Kool-Aid of
sip
the
the
Great Falls
Kool-Aid.
Electrics?
Oh, that's
the fruit punch.
Yeah, see, we're bringing it all back
so
together.
that's what I got to
Yeah.
start saying is y'all got to start drinking the
Yeah,
Kool-Aid. Get
there you
behind
go.
me.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I'll probably turn around and walk away.
Yeah. It's like,
And be
no,
like, man, I should get royalties for that.
All right. Where's my coin?
Yeah.
So you got to Great Falls how long ago now?
Roughly about the same time Brock did. So it's
Okay.
been about 2 months. A couple days after him,
Okay.
I got in. I think it was when you first had your guys' snowstorm.
I was just
The
going to say, I
one
was like, was
snowstorm
it
we
during-
had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like February 17th.
Yeah, when
It
we
was-
got winter.
It was
That
a great
one.
welcoming. I heard it was a good omen.
Yeah.
It was a good, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you
It'd be nice if you could leave and come back. We'd love to have winter again. It was really nice that one week.
that one day, yeah, we've had like 2 weekends of winter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been rough. This year and last year have been pretty tough for
Yeah.
actually getting winter. With that, you're all tied up with the basketball thing, but do you get out and explore much before or after?
I haven't this year, no.
Mm.
Yeah, I like to eat.
Okay.
So one thing that I always tell everybody, if you're around me, you're gonna eat good. You know, we're gonna figure out the best spots in Great Falls, and so I've kind of done a little research, and I'm a big Yelp reviewer.
Mm,
And so
Okay.
if I have 4 stars, I'm gonna go check it out. You know, 3,
Nice.
5, I might. You know,
Yeah.
if I'm
A little hungry.
if I'm a little hungry, and so we've gone to a couple different spots. You know, I like Tracy's.
Mhm.
Oh,
Tracy's
yeah.
Diner is family owned. Kobe's is a nice
Yeah.
spot. They have chicken fried rice. I'm not
Mhm.
really a big sushi guy, so I kind of
Oh.
keep it simple.
You like the grill stuff.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
hibachi grill,
Mhm.
and then we've gone to some other places as well.
How good are you at catching the broccoli?
Oh yeah, when they at the grill at
I
Kobe.
usually don't let them do that.
Oh,
'cause
wow.
you
You're that
know,
person at the
yeah,
table.
I'm the,
Yeah. Come
somebody else go.
Yeah.
unless you know they giving me some of the what's it called?
The yum yum sauce.
Sake.
No, there we go.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
that's what I'm talking about. Then I
Okay.
might, yeah,
Got to get you going with that first.
a
Yeah.
couple sake
Yeah.
shots. So.
Have you dipped into the 3.5s and have any of the 4 and 5 stars led you astray?
I haven't really been led astray yet. I would say that my preference of Texas Roadhouse is kind of high, and so
Because you're from Texas?
yeah,
Mm. Have you made it to this one yet?
yeah. So we've gone a couple times,
Okay.
and yeah.
Okay. Well
Okay.
done.
Okay.
Well done.
Yep. All right.
Let me see if you've hit some of the classics. Have you done Roadhouse Burger?
So we just got recommended that today. So I
Ooh.
think
By
we're gonna
Carol?
go. Yes,
Okay.
100%.
Good. Good.
Good recommendations,
Yes.
and she was talking about how the beef is, put
All
together.
local.
And,
Right down the
Yeah.
road. Mhm.
Yeah.
and so I think we're gonna try that once we finish this up
Yep.
today.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I've been there before.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
wouldn't
because
say
you
Enough
You've
that you
been
would
it's
here
go
the
for
best
back.
3
burger
years.
I have, but it's a good
You'd
burger.
go back.
it's
Yeah.
a good burger. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you there.
Needs to
Mhm.
be seasoned a little more. I
Mm.
don't know if I'm gonna ruffle some feathers, but it needs to be seasoned a little more.
I
Okay.
will let
Which
that
one?
slide with a burger.
Yeah.
I don't mind people seasoning a burger. Do not season your steak other than S&P. That's all you need.
What burger? Do you remember what burger you tried?
I think I had the mushroom Swiss,
Okay.
but I don't remember. It was
Yeah.
2024. It was
Yeah.
my first year here. My first year here,
That's
I
fair.
went out to places, but
Yeah.
after I came a little more, I haven't really ventured out.
Well, you're busy,
So
running the team. So
yeah.
The other recommendation I'll make, get this out of the way, the new Mexican restaurant, Xochitl.
I've heard about that.
Done
Yeah.
that yet?
That's
I
the
have
one
not
downtown?
been there yet either.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ooh.
I say it was good, but
Did you go when it was busy?
it was Sunday. But
Yeah.
but I'll take this. My
That's-
wife,
It
my
starts
wife.
with like a T, right? And it's kind of
X.
Like
Yeah, it's like a-
Oh, okay, yeah, I've been there. No, it was good.
CHITL.
It was good.
but my wife is Mexican, so
Well,
Ooh.
I compare
it's
the
a
food to
different
her.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's-
it's going to be a different standard. We're comparing it to other Mexican in Great Falls.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you
All
can't
about
compare it to.
perspective, I suppose. Yeah.
It's a good setup though. You got a nice
Yeah.
scenery to it, a nice vibe, and I've
Yeah.
only been once, but it was pretty
Okay.
enjoyable.
Yeah, the food was good. It's just hard when you're comparing food to
Well, yeah.
like authentic Mexican
100%.
food.
Yeah.
But
That's
no,
a-
they did good. The vibe is very nice, right downtown. I like
Yeah.
it.
The
Awesome.
margaritas are very good.
Yeah,
This
can't
coming
go
from a
wrong.
beer drinker. They're,
Yeah, that is saying
They're
something.
nice.
That is saying something.
They're
Was it the
nice.
do you have like the jalapeno?
I've had
margarita or
them all.
something? Okay.
I've done a flight. I've done multiple singles. I mean, they're all good.
I have not been there at all yet, so
Oh,
I need to
You should
do
go.
that. Yeah.
So enough about this. Let's talk about basketball, which is why you all are here. And coach, this is your first year coaching. What have you learned about being a coach where you that you want to share?
What I would share is that it's probably one of the toughest jobs that I've done in my life, just because there's so much going on and there's so much that I'm, how would you say it? Kind of not in control, but like that you're focused on. Like I'm focused. We have 12 guys, so like I'm focused on 12 guys' personalities, their egos. I mean, every basketball player has an ego because
Sure.
I've been there before. So just kind of focusing on that, then focusing on trying to build a team, practice, plays, defensive schemes, scouting, and all that type of stuff. And I did say to my assistant coach, I was like, man, it makes sense why Division I coaches have 6 coaches on the bench behind them
Yeah.
because there's just so much going on during the game. But it's definitely enjoyable. I can't wait to see where it takes me, and hopefully one day I can lead a Division I team as a head coach and go from there. So it's definitely enjoyable. It's hard, stressful because it's like, man, like we got to win this game. And it's
Do
like
you-
you're so focused on winning that it's like you forget about everything else. And then it's like after the game, say win or loss, it's like, man, like that was tough. Like you're exhausted. So
Are there things you wish you would have done different as a player now that you were a coach?
Oh, that's a good question.
I get some good ones every now and again.
somewhat, I kind of look at it like when I was playing, there was so many times I was taking the positives from one coach and the negatives, like, okay, I'm not going to do that, or I am going to do that. But I thought I was like prepared for the moment of like, okay, like I watched what they did, I watched what I didn't like, but then it's like I'm in it and I'm like, man, like I'm forgetting everything they did. Like I'm forgetting how they did this. And it's like you start to think like, man, as a player, you're so focused on playing that it's like you think you're looking at what they're doing, but there's so much stuff that goes behind the scenes that you don't ever see as a player. Like you don't see what they do for practice plan, the film they're watching, the way they talk about how to do this in a game. So like you don't see that. Like it's the behind the scenes that I never got to see. So I wish maybe I would have went in and kind of like talked to coaches about like the behind the scenes type of stuff. Instead of just thinking, oh, I'm watching how they do practice when I'm in the practice. But again, you're so focused on playing that you just kind of don't really get all the information that you need. So
Did you know your assistant coach beforehand? Okay.
Nope.
How was
Ooh,
that developing?
that's gotta be
relationship
weird.
with another coach? Yeah.
It was good. I mean, we talked. I mean, I found out probably a month before, and we talked a little bit, but kind of you don't really know what he's about until you're really in the game.
Yeah.
Which you learn a lot. So, but we have a really good relationship. So,
Do you have a way you would describe your coaching style?
Ooh, like in the book you write about yourself.
The biopic.
Yeah.
Broc.
Man, that's a tough question. I haven't really thought about that yet.
She's the
You're-
journalist of the group.
But like,
Well, you're new. Yeah, I
like
mean,
I'm
it's new,
intense,
so-
and I try to be confident with the players. I probably yell maybe too much, just trying to learn how to like coach players during the game. But yeah, that's a great question that I gotta figure out.
Do you think he yells too much at the players, Deon?
No. I think he needs to yell more.
Need to yell more, my bad.
Because then I don't have to yell as much.
Yeah.
So, Deon, what position do you play for the Electrics?
I play the guard position.
Okay. Not to brag, but I used to play some pretty big ball when I was in high school.
Okay. You got the jump shot.
Yeah, not too bad there.
Post up action.
Yeah, I was underneath, but I find it interesting because our coach would yell at us. Our head coach would yell at us all the time.
Yeah.
And then you'd get on the bench and the assistant coach is like, "It's okay."
They console you. Yeah. It's like
Don't
good cop,
worry.
bad
Yeah.
cop.
That's what I actually just told the assistant coach. It's like you have to be the bad guy, and I have to be, or I have to be the bad guy. You have to be the good guy. Like 95% of the time, like I'm the bad guy. 5% I'm the good guy. You're 95% good guy, 5% bad guy.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I'm trying to learn as a coach. It's like to get out of that uncomfortable position of being the bad guy.
Yeah.
Where it's tough because it's like I'm 27 years old. Some of these guys are 26 to 32.
Yeah.
So it's like just getting out of that comfortable position of being the bad guy, which just comes with time. So
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, and you got to build rapport with each other so quickly. I mean, you're coming in, it's been a month and a half.
well, it was tough for us. I mean, some teams, they start February 1st. We started February 17th.
Mm.
And then we didn't have 10 guys until I don't even know when,
Like
like
a week before.
a week before the game.
Oh,
And then like
wow.
our 10th guy or like our another guy came a day before the game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we were trying to build chemistry, build plays, build defensive schemes, all with 7. Like there was times when I'm having to play because
Yeah.
we didn't have enough,
Wow.
which is super tough. So it's definitely not easy to try to build a whole program in 2 weeks, really 1 week with
Yeah.
full 10 guys. So
How do you help build just that like team camaraderie, just amongst the personality, so you get some like team chemistry going outside of building the plays? How do you do that in such a short amount of time?
As far as like players and like you said, trying to build that camaraderie or rapport, it takes time. You know, you can't rush the process with anything great. It takes time. It takes patience. It takes development. You have 10 different egos, and a lot of these guys are, you know, if we made it to this far in basketball, this pro level, you're the best player in high school, the best player in college, and the best player from your city or your friend group. And so everybody has a crazy ego. So it's trying to figure out what egos mesh and then trying to learn each other's games. And, you know, we all, we spend a lot of time outside the court, and I think that helps kind of speed up the process. But it's still like, you know, trying to find ways to just come together as brothers in arms or as a family and kind of have that like brotherly love mentality. Like, you know, you're my guy, I'm going. Because when you go on the basketball court, a lot of people don't see this as like a fan or you're just watching it from the stands. Like, we really are going to war. Like, we're going to battle. It might not be guns and ammunition,
Swords.
and swords or whatever. So, but you know, we're using our God-given gifts. You know, we're using our ability to make shots, our ability to make plays, our ability to communicate at a high level. And the game of basketball is so fast-paced. You know, the longest it's going to be is 48 minutes. It may end up being an hour and a half with media timeouts and whatnot. But you're making so many split-second decisions in that amount of time. And so if you're not on sync with the rest of your team or your coach or really just the organization and all, it's really hard to win games, you know. A lot of people that win or know about championship experiences just because they've been able to get on sync, and 5 is 1. You know, it's always going to be stronger than 5 individuals.
Yep.
So,
Do you have a team that you hate playing yet?
technically,
yeah.
well,
we're
I
just
mean,
gonna say
right
that
now
off
we're-
on
I wouldn't say-
offline.
I mean, this is a hard thing because I wouldn't say we hate playing them. But right now we're 5-5, and we're 5-1 against every other team that we played. But this team, we're 0-4.
Oh,
But the way I look at it is, I mean, I'll even give it to the players. It's like this last weekend we went in 7 guys, and they had 11, and they're subbing in and out, in and out.
Yeah.
And I mean, these guys, at one point it was 59-59 in the third quarter, and they're
Oh,
playing
wow.
well done.
27 minutes to their 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's tough as a player.
Mm-hmm.
And you could just see, like, our starters are in, and then they bring in, like, 6 minutes to go. We can bring in 1 guy, maybe 2. They're bringing in a whole new 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's super tough, no matter how good you are. I mean, the fact that we're 0-4 against them in 2 of the games, we've lost by less than 8 points. And we've turned the ball over 25 times in both of those games, and we still should have beat them.
Yeah.
So it shows that if once we get 9 to 10 guys to go and play against them, then I think that's when we can start winning games against them. But it's super tough when you are limited. I mean, granted, I think he played 43 minutes, 40 minutes in both games. That's 83 minutes compared to maybe their best player playing 30 minutes.
Yeah.
40 minutes for 2 games. So his is 83
So you're
minutes.
the
and then,
better athlete of all of them, is what
That's
he's
just
saying.
a lot of gas.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
time.
Gatorade
Yeah.
you got to be
so it's like
drinking.
Yeah.
he technically played 4 games
Yeah.
to his 1.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
in 83 minutes, they're playing 25 minutes
Yeah.
a game. He's playing 83 minutes for 2 games.
Yeah.
So 4 games, they add up to what he's playing in 1 game or in 2 games, which
Yeah.
is really tough on a body.
Yeah,
So-
well, and that speaks to your dedication and athleticism to it too, because not everybody can go out there and do that or willingly continue to do that.
Well, especially
too.
at a high level.
Yeah.
I mean, he's averaging 30 points a game.
Wow, nice.
And I don't know the exact assists and
It's gotta be
rebounds,
the
but
Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
Sip the Kool-Aid.
That's
Keep
right.
going. Keep going.
The grape Kool-Aid.
Yep. Keep going.
honestly, like once we get a good amount of like rotation, then we'll be fine.
Mhm.
But yeah, I wouldn't say we hate playing against them, but every time we play against them, we're always shorthanded.
Mhm.
And that's tough when you're going against a team that's already good, that has 11 guys to cycle in and go to the next game and have a fresh body, fresh legs. So
Yeah, because we are still playing back-to-backs. So we'll play
Yeah.
Friday and then turn around and play again within 20 hours on Saturday.
Yeah, it's a
So-
lot, especially when you're playing that many minutes.
Yeah.
Are you doing ice baths or cupping or
Yeah.
things like that to bring your body back up to some type of level that it's fresh and renewed, or you're just like, nah, give me the Gatorade, the Kool-Aid, and
Kool-Aid
and we're
just
and
keep
we'll be
hooping.
good.
No, honestly, that's a great question. I've been taking my recovery probably the most serious I've done ever in my career.
Hmm.
I've never played this amount of minutes, back-to-backs. Like, I think right now I'm averaging 45 minutes a game, and there's only 48 minutes in a game. We've already played 10 games within a month, and so you got to think, usage rate. Most of the times, the second game, your production is going to go down. But as far as recovery, like I've been taking my recovery regimen this year has honestly been because of the cold weather. I'm not really used to that.
Mhm.
So my muscles take a little longer to warm up than being in back home in Texas. And so I'll take a heat bath in the morning. I'll take an ice bath at night. And we usually, when we go on the road, we get back about Monday. So I have about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to recover. And then we're back playing Friday, Saturday. So normally about 3 to 4 times a week, I'm taking a heat bath in the morning, ice bath at night, and then I'll lift 2 times a week to kind of flush out my joints to allow recovery to kind of speed up. And then I also invested into these. They're called Normatec boots, and they're like hyper tension recovery boots, and so it creates pressure around your legs and kind of increases the blood flow to also increase recovery. So I think just being able to do all that and just praying a lot and just trying to stay as healthy as I possibly can to weather this whole season, because we still have another 2 months. We still have another 15, 14 more games. So it's just being on top of that and just, praying for the best.
What can you talk a little bit more about the TBL and just the league you play in and being the team from Montana that's playing in this, because that's pretty unique too.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. We're the first professional team in Montana, which I think is
Yep.
pretty historic, and I
Yeah.
think is a thing that should be talked about more. The TBL is a great league. It's been around for about 9 years. I've played in it for about 6 to 7, on and off, and it's gave a lot of players opportunities to showcase their abilities within the United States, to stay close to their families and not have to go overseas or compete with the NBA G League, and that's a monster in its own. But I like to say, like, it's the NBA, it's the G League, and then you just got the TBL. It's like right under there. So it's good for what it's meant for. It's a developmental league. It's a league that showcases players' abilities to get another contract moving forward. The job is not to stay here forever, but just kind of showcase and then move on. But it also is Euro-statted, which is a huge thing overseas. It's just the mechanism that EuroLeague and like overseas teams will look at and respect, and then the film is high quality as well. So it's really just one of the best options you can have staying in the United States and still play professionally and still get an opportunity to do what you love and take care of your expenses.
Do you have, are there players that you're running into on other teams that you either played in college or played
Yeah.
in other because it becomes such a small world at that
Yeah.
level. Like you almost kind of know everybody still.
Yeah.
Anybody from your high school?
Not from my high
Okay.
school, but to answer your question, like that's another great question. A lot of these guys on these teams, a lot of these all-stars in this league, have been my former teammate or I've played against. So like literally everywhere I go, I know, like I'm really close friends with at least either the captain of the team or a couple of guys on that team, just because, like you said, the basketball world is so small. When you go from if you think about the small percentage of high school athletes that make it to the Division I level, I think it's like under 5% out of the whole population of high school athletes that make it, and then the people that move on is even smaller. So you're just kind of getting like in a smaller environment, and so you just kind of build relationships with these guys that's playing on their team, and you know their game, they know your game, so it kind of gets harder and harder as you move on to still showcase and produce, but in the day, we're just all playing it out of love, and we're appreciative that we're able to do that at this level.
One of the things, the last time we visited with professional athletes, they spent a lot of time talking about caring for their body, which I think is one of the things young people in the game don't necessarily think about.
Yeah.
What in your travels through education, did you guys get specific kinds of degrees related to understanding that? Or do you do just like all this extracurricular studying about how the body works and how to fix it?
You're such a good, your questions are like
Yeah,
top
you're
tier.
on it today.
Yeah, you are.
Well,
really
you bring
are.
me basketball, I'm going to know.
Yeah, whoever listens to this, they're going to have a crazy amount of wisdom.
ESPN, I'm available to
Yep. Great
for
Falls.
anything.
No, like that's a great question. I think YouTube University is honestly the best education you could have, and you got to think as a Division I athlete, a lot of times your time is pushed towards athletics, and you're still a student first, of course, but they don't allow you to kind of get certain degrees that you want, because therefore you're not going to have enough time to be competitive.
Yep.
Like I wanted a cybersecurity degree. I didn't have enough time because we were on the road. I played for Conference USA. We traveled a different state every weekend. They didn't allow me to pursue that degree because it was so competitive. And they didn't think that I was going to be able to compete because I wasn't going to be there for the projects and in-person evaluations and the experiments. And so you really don't get that time to like focus. Like you can obviously go into a physical therapy degree or psychology degree. But I think it's really just doing your own work. When you have that passion, you have that desire to be the greatest you can possibly be, to reach your potential to the fullest, you start learning different mechanics and modern science and different ways to develop your routine and your regimen or your body to produce more. It's all about having an edge over the next person. So how can I be more productive? How can I be more efficient? And not everybody's thinking like this, but the top 1% of athletes that you see moving up, that's their mindset. It's like instead of me going to hang out or eating fast food all day, I'm going to meal prep. I'm going to sit at home and stretch 45 minutes before practice and after practice. I'm going to do my heat baths, my ice baths, because in the day, it feels like a hindrance to do that because it takes extra effort to want to do that. A lot of people are just going to go home, play the video game, hang out with their girlfriend, fiance, and just call it a day. And then your body over time just tightens up. You lose production, you lose athleticism, you lose focus. And so, it's just kind of
So true.
Yeah, it's just either or. You get out what you put into it.
I'm laughing because my
100%.
husband put his neck out last week putting his T-shirt on. And I'm like,
What?
well, he's old, but he's also not taking care of his body. Like, those are the things that happen. Then
That
all of a
does sound
sudden
like a
you're...
Robert injury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, 100% what you're saying is true.
They say you should just every day you wake up, just move your body for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Just to keep your body active and moving, even if you're not playing a sport.
Yeah.
'Cause then you pull your neck, put
Yeah.
a shirt on.
Gotta go to the chiropractor to get put back in.
Well,
and
and
the
this-
chiropractor goes, what happened? I was
Yeah.
putting my T-shirt on today.
Oh boy, there's your motivation, people, to stretch.
Yeah.
You don't want that to happen. The stretching, though, so underrated, and especially to be that disciplined to do it for not just like 2 minutes, like a quick 5-second stretch on each side or whatever. Like that is a very underrated discipline that matters in the long term, not only for athleticism, but just your ability to move
Bodily
throughout your
function,
life. Yeah. Which becomes more and more prominent as you get older.
Yeah. The tales of old people.
Yeah.
We can create an entire new podcast about that.
You all are also getting out in the community a lot. I know they have you going to schools, working with kids, things like that. Can you tell me a little bit more about those outings and why you do that?
It's really them that they go to the schools. Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
get to. You're
They
studying
told
too.
me nope.
Broc, we don't want
Stay away. You'll yell at the kids.
Yeah. yeah.
I gotta put them to work. No, it's a great opportunity. A lot of our guys today actually went to Longfellow Elementary and some other schools around, and we've been blessed. You know, we go in there for about a couple of hours a day and play recess with the kids and kind of
Oh.
just really just kind of meet them where they're at. You know, they're so young, they're so open to learning, and it just kind of it's nice from us looking in to kind of also, you know, a lot of us have families, and so it gives us a way to kind of, you know, remember what we're doing this for and for our little kids, and then if we can kind of help somebody and inspire somebody from this kind of community where they may not have as many experiences or opportunities to show them that it is possible. You know, you have a pro team right here in your backyard, so if you work really hard and do what you need to do, and you have examples in front of you, you can also go down this path. You know, you could be the Great Fallian of the year, you know.
There we go.
There will be a day
job.
when I have the award ceremony and
Yeah.
everybody's going to get a plaid jacket. The Great Falls end of the year.
Amazing.
This might be a bad question. It's always fun to inspire kids and talk about the positive, but do you ever run into kids where you're like, dude, you're just not putting in the work. You're not going to get to this level unless you double down or
Yeah.
triple down. Like sometimes that hard conversation needs to happen to get them to realize that this isn't an easy path to get to.
Oh, for sure. You know, like we talked about the numbers earlier, it's a small percent that honestly
Yeah.
makes it, and the ones that do is because of discipline. It's a little bit of luck. It's about who you know, but at the end of the day, it's honestly about discipline. And to piggyback your question, you know, there are those conversations you have to have with certain kids. You know, I train kids back home. Broc's been training a few kids here in
Mhm.
Montana and Great Falls, and I think it's just this generation. You know, they're just so entitled, and they think that everything is given to them, and you know, it's kind of our own fault a little bit, but with technology and the convenience of things. But in the end of the day, just being able to sit down with them, and I think the biggest thing is seeing an example of what they want to become, and it makes it a lot easier for them to follow online. You know, if you can't really see it, how can you ever believe it? And if you can't believe it, how can you achieve it? So
Good
Yeah,
point.
I actually just had a conversation with a kid yesterday about it, and kind of like what you just said, it's about 3% that make it to Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, and then it goes into 1%.
Mhm.
Division 1, 1%, 1%, 1%. And I think it's 500, about 600,000 kids that are trying to make it every single year
yeah,
to go.
Mm.
And now with the transfer portal, it's even
it's
harder.
even harder.
So it's probably even lower than 1%. And I mean, if you just do 1%, the only reason I know this math off of this because I just did it yesterday. Like it's about
I'm about to
550,000.
say, is this
Yeah.
accurate? Can we fact check
As of
them?
yesterday.
Right, yeah.
500, like, and I mean, it's probably gone up because more people. But like when I was going Division 1, it's about 550,000 are always trying to get there,
Mhm.
and that's only 5,000 people that are making it every single year. And mind you, probably has gone down. But I told him, I was like, the way you're going through your workouts, you're not going to get it anywhere. Like just because you do 1, 2, 3 hour, 3 workouts a week, that's not going to get you anywhere. You got to do a workout every day, then 250 to 500 to 1,000 shots a day,
Yeah,
and lifting.
it's obsession.
So it's like, but if you don't do that, I mean, obviously there's people that are out there that have God-given talent that just don't do nothing and obviously are athletic and
Those
can
people
get
Not
there.
everybody
frustrate
can be
me.
like
But
us.
that's like a 0.011 like percent chance.
Mhm.
So I told him, I was like, you got to go through your workouts high intensity. You got to shoot every, like what we do here is like it's such a little portion of what you need to be doing. Like you need to be going home, workout, and then lift, and then
Mhm.
work out, and then do it all again the next day
Mhm.
Yeah.
while doing your schoolwork. And that's the hardest part. Cause I mean, like you said, like I had a communication degree. Like I
Mhm.
wish I would have went and did like a harder degree, a business
Mhm.
degree, but they're like, you're just not going to be able to function
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and do what you want to do doing that degree. So I got in communication. I have no clue why I got it. I guess
call
right.
it a feeder degree.
Yeah, right.
I have a degree of special arts. I don't even.
Yeah, I have no clue.
I
I
can't
guess
even
I'm
tell you what-
communicating right now. So.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
At a
Just
high
help
level.
me.
At a
You're
high
doing
level.
great, Brock. You're
Yeah.
doing real good.
But so I just kind of told him that I was like, if you truly want to make it, I mean, Division 3 and Division 2, I think people get it wrong because it's like getting to Division 1 is hard.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's athletes that get to Division 2, but the Division 3 athletes are trying to get to Division 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's hard to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Those 3 levels are hard. So it's like you got to put in so much work to get to this level that if you're not willing to get it, then you're not going to get there. And it's no point in training. There's no point in and doing stuff. Now, like if you want to just play basketball for high school, yeah, you want to continue to train, but if you want to make it to beyond that, there's so much that goes into it that people don't see, that it really gets to a point where you're like, do you want to do this? Because you got to love it. Because if you don't love it, then there's really no point in continuing to go, because you'll just burn out and end up just like, man, I hate basketball. And so it's hard.
You two are both pretty young in comparison to myself. So maybe you haven't seen it, but you've been around long enough to have you noticed a trend in kids being more hyper focused on, getting to these high levels at a young age? When I was a kid, you played sports, you had fun. If you were really good, you might do something more, but there seems to me maybe a little bit more of a focus on sports with the end goal of being a professional or D1 athlete in mind.
I think it's
thoughts.
I think it's more like hyper focused, like they're focused on it, but they don't want to put the work in. Like they want to post on social media, they want to get the likes, the comments, but truly there's so few of that, like actually like that are hyper focused on it and then put the work on it and don't really care about what like the social media. But social media I feel has just killed the like they just want to get the likes and it's
Instant
like post,
gratification.
it's like post the offers but they don't want to put the work in because they want exactly what you say. And I've seen that so much.
I would say the trend that I've noticed is the amount of money that's increased in amateur sports as far as AAU and these clubs and these shoe deals and these sponsorships. I think that's increased the ability for families to hyper focus their child on that and think that, okay, if you do this, you can make a real career from this because there's so much more money involved in that. But like kind of what Coach is saying, just because you throw your kid in the fire at a younger age, because when we were growing up, it always was about playing sports to have fun, playing sports to have the camaraderie, playing sports to build those key lessons, the 12 keys. I don't even know if they have those in schools anymore. But it was more so like that, like I want to go play with my friends. It wasn't like I'm playing to be a professional. I didn't think about that later until I was in college when my coach sat me down and said that, this is something that you could honestly do. It really was just, for the social ability of sports. And nowadays I feel like they take that away because of the money that's involved behind doors and even in your face right now with NIL. You got kids that are in middle school with NIL deals. And it makes no sense, like why did we turn the sport into a money grab instead of teaching these key life lessons? That's why you see the Europeans and the players overseas that are in the NBA getting these MVPs the last couple of years and getting the most notoriety because, they're focused on fundamentals. They're focused on the key lessons. They're not focused on the economics of the sport, But then again, it is a capitalistic society, so.
It seems like more and more though you gotta at age 5 you gotta be committed to a sport already, and like it seemed, I don't know. I mean, it was still like you needed to know when you were pretty young when I was growing up, but it was still like I had time to try different sports in middle school and even high school and figure it out. And now I feel like it's nope, you got to be locked in, especially with certain sports by like age 5 or 8 to determine the rest of your life.
I fell into that trap. Not like when I was younger, but once I got to like middle school and then my freshman year, I quit every sport that I was playing and focused on basketball. And looking back, like I regret it all. It's like, man, I missed football. I missed baseball. I could have ran track. I could have done, but I missed all that because I was like, nope, if I want to make it big, like I got to play basketball. I got to play basketball in the fall. I got to play in the winter, the spring, the summer. And it's like all those sports help you get better at basketball.
100%.
And then all those sports, if you're playing basketball, help you with foot. Like, and that's where I messed up. So I always say, like, if I could tell a kid right now, it's like play 3 sports. Be a 3-sport athlete. And then it's like you don't burn yourself out. It's like
it's balance.
Yeah, it's like
it's all balance.
Okay, football, basketball, baseball, or soccer, basketball, track. Just like getting balance and just, I would say, play 3 sports, enjoy the time with your friends. Because I missed out on so much time just with my friends in the sports and all that stuff. And I regret it all the time.
Yeah.
So,
because it's like if you only play one sport and you don't perform, then what? You're going to have a bad day. You're going to have a bad season. kind of like what you said. I had a kid that I was training, and he was just a one sport athlete all through high school. And when he wasn't playing good, he just was having a horrible week. Like his class would his production in class would go down, and he wasn't socializing. He wouldn't make friends, and I eventually just sat him down. I'm like, life is about balance. You have, because if you find balance in your life, when basketball's not going well, you're still gonna have a good day. You're still gonna find happiness. You're still gonna find love. You're still gonna find all these things that you're searching for within. You're just looking for that within basketball. And so find balance, and then you're gonna have bad games. You're gonna have good games, but it's gonna equal out. It's not gonna be like when we lose, you just come home and you watch film, and you go try to be better tomorrow. You can't take that home with you. You can't take that loss, because it's just a moment in time. It's not forever.
That seems like as you grow older in the sport too, and have more experience and focus on taking care of your body, that you have we talked about the ego, that you have to have an ego to get to the level that you're
100%.
at. Like that's part of it. But also then on the other side of saying that, the ability to say that was a game loss doesn't destroy you.
100%.
So you have the ego to be there, but it doesn't destroy you. Just say, all right, let's do better the next day.
Yeah.
And that seems like the maturity and balance that comes when you're able to get to the level that you're at.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
Like balance is everything in life. If you just do one thing all day long and hammer that, then you lose your self identity. What would you be without that one thing?
Yeah.
So you gotta have a trifecta of support, of things that you're good at, and just keep everything. Because too much of one thing, that is bad for you.
Yeah.
Anything it's called an addiction.
Yeah.
You could be addicted to anything. So
Yeah. You got to balance it out.
Yeah.
You got to drink beer and
Kool-Aid.
margaritas.
Yep, there we go. Margaritas and sake.
Right.
There we go.
Deon, what's your number on the floor, on the court?
Number 3 on the floor, number 3 in your heart.
Okay. What can people expect when they come watch you guys play?
Yeah.
They can expect a competitive game, entertaining game, a professional game, a lot of dunks, a lot of 3-point shots, a lot of exciting plays, things that you probably haven't seen ever in the state of Montana, especially at that high of a level. So we would definitely encourage more people to come out, and we would, enjoy every moment of it, and we hope that you enjoy every moment of the product that we put out in Great Falls.
What do you want to see from the fans?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want them trash talking the opponent?
Yeah. We want them to just be crazy, like just fall in love with the sport and fall in love with the product we're putting on the floor, and just escape from your everyday busy life, and just let your hair loose and come drink some beers and margaritas if they offer it, and just have fun. Enjoy your weekend.
Cheer loud. One of the I had a great question at the
Sorry.
March Madness. Playing the game as much as you do and focused on the game and your own kind of health, do you spend time watching the college March Madness basketball, any pro games, or do you just turn that off and focus on yourself?
I'm obsessed with the game of basketball. It's brought me so much fortune and faith, and so I watch it all day long. I watch March Madness. I think it's a lovely time, and just see the desire and passion in players. And also watch certain NBA players that I model my game after and kind of learn from them. And I think at this level, you have to be a little obsessed, to be a little crazy. And I don't know many people that can just completely turn that off. And so I think we all kind of just tune in and watch as much basketball as we possibly can.
As much as you can.
Who are you rooting for right now in the Final Four?
The team that I was rooting for got eliminated.
Which was
Houston. So I was kind of sad about that. But right now, I'm just looking forward to watching good basketball.
Yeah.
I'm from Kansas, so I grew up diehard Jayhawks fan,
Okay.
right? So,
I went to school in Kansas, Norton, Kansas. That's where I
Okay.
graduated.
Okay.
High
I went
school.
we moved to Montana right before I started high school, but we lived in Kansas City, Kansas side,
Oh, okay.
Overland Park area. But
Okay, I'm familiar.
okay, yeah,
we used
yeah.
to go to the malls out there.
Okay, yeah. So grew up diehard Jayhawks fan. So love some college basketball. Yeah. What about you?
I was just gonna say I was rooting for Duke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Did not expect that, did
that
you?
was bad.
No.
But
one
at the end
loves
of the day, it's always for me, I just want to watch good basketball. Like if
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
watching a game and it's 90-50, like I don't even want to watch no more.
Mm.
And
There's
so,
been some really great games this
it
year.
has.
Mhm.
I've been shocked. Okay, now
That's what's great about March Madness, though.
I know I do
There's
love
always
it.
going to be a good one.
Growing up as kids, who was your favorite NBA team?
For me, growing up in Nebraska, the only channel that we could watch were the Denver Nuggets, the altitude channel,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so
yeah.
they was up late at night. So
Yeah.
that was my team growing up. We used to get some Chicago games, but that was like on the newscast every once in a while. But the altitude, that channel 30, I mean, that would be up all night playing reruns of the Denver Nuggets. So that was kind of my team growing up. I
Okay.
think just because of regional.
Mhm.
For me, I didn't really have a team, even though growing up in Minnesota,
Yeah.
it was just always tough watching them play. Like anytime we got a good player, he would leave.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I just kind of adventured out, and I loved LeBron James's game. So I
Okay.
just kind of followed him as a player and really whatever team he was on. So I
Yeah.
guess you could call me a bandwagon.
Yeah.
Because wherever he
Yeah.
went, I would just kind of join in. But as a basketball head, like I would lock in like with the whole team. Like I would watch every player and what their games were like, and I knew every player on the team. So I wasn't just like watching it like like LeBron and but I would be really invested in whatever team he went to, just because I loved his game and it was fun to watch him.
As we've aged, my husband and I both noticed we follow players now. Like we'll watch them from high school, go to college, watch them go college to pro if they do, and
Yeah.
then you end up just following the player, and then you don't have a team anymore.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, everyone leaves so often now
yeah.
that
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to stay
It's hard
with.
to do that.
Because then you have a favorite player, and then he goes to a team. Well, you end
Right.
up just
and
kind of
what do you do?
watching
Yeah,
watching that team. So
which is
Yeah.
kind of fun.
Yeah.
Well, we really appreciate you being here. I know you guys have some food to eat before you get ready to stretch and go have practice and get yelled at, which is always the fun part. We really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Do
thank
you
you.
know when your next game is?
Friday.
This
Mm-hmm.
Friday. Today?
So our episodes come out on Fridays. This will come out next Friday. So
Oh.
a week from this Friday.
Perfect.
Which I'm sure they're playing then too.
Yeah, we'll be
Mhm.
playing in Washington.
Okay. And
Okay.
then you'll be back home after that.
Well, we play next week. We leave Tuesday, and then we
Okay.
get home Monday.
Okay. Yeah.
We play 4 games on the road.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
we'll be
Yeah.
in Washington for about 7 days.
Okay. Wow.
Oh.
Well, we'll make sure in the podcast notes section when listeners
Oh,
will
yeah.
attach the schedule so you can see it right there.
Look at
Perfect.
Shannon go.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I don't know if they are going to ask where we play, but we play at the Central Catholic High School.
The St. Patrick's
Yeah, it's called
Academy.
St. Patrick,
Mhm.
but we were just talking about this last night on
The sign
maps.
on the door.
Yeah.
On the maps, it shows Central Catholic.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It's
when
a
I
newer name
tried to
transition.
find it, I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
And I think
typing
that's
in.
and that's where I think we're running into sometimes is people try to
Oh.
type it into maps and it's not coming up.
Okay. That is
So
good
then
to
they're
know.
kind of like,
Yeah.
well, where's St. Patrick Academy at?
Mhm.
So
Well,
if
search
anyone
for
asks,
Central Catholic.
yes, it's Central Catholic.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
It is, and then even when you know where it is, it's a little bit obscure to get there because every now and again you're like, "Oh, am I in the wrong spot? Oh no, I'm in the right spot."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well,
even
yeah.
residents get tricked up
Make
every now and
note.
again.
Go search for Central Catholic.
Well, thank you all so much for first being in Great Falls,
Yeah.
for being passionate
course.
about this game, for becoming a coach. A really tough job. I did it in softball with little kids and got mad at them and started throwing balls at them one time. And so,
Interesting.
hey,
It's like
they were a
interesting
little
choice.
scared. They were scared of the ball, and I'm like, "Oh, we're gonna fix that. Line up against the fence. We're
Was
doing
that just
this."
for one season?
Yeah, it was. I don't even think it was a full season. I'm pretty sure I got
they
fired.
might have got rid of her.
Yeah, I was
after.
like that. Yeah.
They're like, "Did you throw balls at our kids?" Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
No, this was a long time ago when you were allowed to do that to kids. So, thank you. And
you guys.
make
thanks for
your
having us.
way to Great Falls to watch the Electrics, the only pro basketball
Yeah.
team in the state of Montana, play against all of their arch nemesises.
Nemesis?
Nemesi? You can correct us on whether
Yeah.
what the plural of that is.
Neither of them sound correct.
And until we see your bright, smiling, happy, healthy, beautiful faces in our fine city, we do hope you're creating amazing memories with your friends and family wherever you might be. See you soon.
We're no damn experts as the recorded claims from Great Falls, Montana. covering what you need to know about this amazing damn town.